Hey guys, so if you've been following the channel for any length of time, you know that I've been going down the AI documentation rabbit hole and trying to wrap my head around this whole process, how this is going to work. I think a lot of you resonate with the message that I've been sharing, which is I'm the therapist. I want to create the documentation. What I don't want is I don't want to get bogged down in the details and the compliance and the rules and regulations. I want to make sure that the documentation I generate is compliant, but I want to generate the documentation. I want to share my assessment. That is why I became a physical therapist, and I want to operate at the highest level possible. So the way I see AI documentation is not listening in on my conversation and creating a note for me. It's taking the information that I specifically share with the AI, reviewing it, compiling it, and then testing it against compliance rules, regulations, testing it against third-party payer guidelines, because third-party payers publish what needs to be in the documentation. So I want a companion and a bodyguard. I don't want somebody to do my job for me. And I think in that, one of the first groups that would benefit the most, and I know you guys are out there, are those therapists that are struggling to keep your head above water. You're falling behind week by week, month by month. You're accumulating unfinished documentation that you know needs to be done. You want to do it, but every single day you have more new patients coming, you have more documentation piling up, and you just can't seem to break through and start to catch up. I want to create a small group, a private Facebook group that allows us to come together. A no judgment zone allows us to talk to each other because this problem isn't going to go away. And this is a problem that affects a lot of small private practices. I get inbound messages from therapists all the time who are just falling days, weeks, months behind in their documentation. And they genuinely want to do what is right. They want to do what they need to do to confirm that the documentation is done. They're complying with State Practice Act, with third-party payer guidelines, but they're also still trying to deliver the best possible patient care experience. So if you want to connect, I'm using HippoScribe as my documentation platform. I am working through workflows and templates that allow me to help other therapists recover the documentation that just hasn't been completed in days, weeks, months, hopefully not years. And I think we can do it together, but we have to figure this out because this is new for all of us. I didn't grow up transcribing or using transcription services to do my documentation. So I'm not used to verbalizing everything that I did with the patient, my assessment, my objective measures. It's just not something I've done. Physicians, surgeons have done transcription forever, but therapists typically haven't. So we're learning new skills, but I think these skills are going to pay off big time. And when I look at the ability to first catch up delinquent documentation, I think that's where we have the greatest lever arm and can have the most impact. So if you guys are interested, post down in the comments or message me privately. I will probably get this group going here within the next couple days. I'll put a small sample of clinicians in PTOT, SLP primarily, and then we can see what kind of impact we can have and how we can use the technology to dig ourselves back out of the hole and allow us to focus on the patient care.